So now that we have heard the data and we have heard the raw stories, and we know that you have been a strong advocate in the California legislature for our community by setting up the Select Committee on Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities, we have a question for you. Will you, Assemblymember Frazier, meet with advocates to discuss next steps immediately after the publication of the market rate study on disability services?
Not only yes, but heck yes. Thank you.
You will now have a few minutes to speak.
Hi. Come on. There we go. You fired up? We got to stay fired up. We got a mission. We got a mission. We're going to go fix this. Good morning, everybody. I'm here and I'm proud to be with you this morning. Thank you to Manos, Genesis, and the ARC for hosting all of us today. Let's give them a big round of applause. It is my great pleasure to be here with you today on this beautiful Saturday. The only thing missing is hammocks for us, right? But this is about a mission that we all share concern about, and it's to improve the lives of those with developmental disabilities. This community especially knows the work does not end at 5 p.m. on Friday. It's continuous. Continuous. And that's why we're here to discuss disparities in access to services within the system. But before we get into the many problems providers face, let me say to all of you, thank you from the bottom of my heart, thank you for all the good work you do on a daily basis for the people that we all care about. Often we get wrapped up on what's wrong and what's going on in our lives. But we don't really ever look at what's going right. So those that are here today, you are what's going right, and you should give yourself a round of applause. I feel it's important to remind you the work you do is crucial and appreciated. And to those who may not know me, I'm Jim Frazier, an Assembly member. I represent the 11th Assembly District over in the Delta area, Solano, East Contra Costa, a little bit of Sacramento County, and I'm blessed to be in this elected position. I'm also blessed to be the chair of two important committees. One is the Transportation Committee here in California in the Assembly, and the one I'm most proud of is the chairman of the Select Committee for the Intellectual and Developmentally Disabled in California. This one's my favorite. The Select Committee is new, and I convinced Assembly Speaker Anthony Rendon early this year to let me create it. The committee's job is to listen to you about the challenges you face, and especially as it pertains to services the state provides or is not providing. My passion for this community comes from a dear friend that I met in high school, Frankie. What a great guy. He inspired me, even to this day, of his efforts. He just wanted to be treated normal. And this was in a time when we had general ed and special ed students in the same classes. Inclusion of all members of our community is imperative. If it weren't for inclusion, I may not have been here in front of you today. I believe in empowering and encouraging all members of society, including those with IDD, to be the best that they can be. Yes. Over the last 15 years, I've volunteered at the Special Olympics. Nothing makes me happier in supporting the enthusiastic athletes competing for championship gold. That's my Christmas when I'm at the Special Olympics. My involvement with Special Olympics has pushed me to advocate for Special Olympic programs in high schools also. We've been able to retrieve funding and expand the program by 300 schools in California. And have been successful in the budget to almost get, well, it was $1 million the first year, $1.6 million the second year, and $2 million last year for Special Olympics included in the budget. So almost $5 million for those in the Healthy Athlete Program and some of these other things that were absolutely imperative what they need. In 2015, I authored AB 1369, which required the state superintendent of public instruction to develop program guidelines for dyslexia to be used to assist regular education teachers. Let me share with you on that note. When I introduced that legislation, that was because a mother came to me at a coffee I was having and said she was having problems with the school district for her child. Her child had dyslexia. We introduced the first dyslexia bill in California. They told us not to do it. It would not be supported, and it would die early in committee. You know how we got that bill passed? We had 100 mama bears in lime green shirts at every committee hearing, and you know those committee members were not going to go against those mama bears. Okay? That's what we need, is constant advocacy by you in the Capitol, in committee hearings, in the legislators' offices. I mean, I've got my stalkers over here. Where's Nicole? And Nicole is right there, okay? Right there in the shade. Nicole's been up there so many times. My committee knows her by staff, as staff basically, and by first name. The last legislation I authored 2 employment bills that I worked with Will Sanford on, and to push the envelope further for the individual's IDD. Unfortunately, competitive integrated employment is a work in progress in this state. It's a no-brainer to me, but we've got to continue to push that. This is how I ended up requesting the legislature to establish a committee that focused solely on this population. Select committees are informational in nature and differ from standing committees, and what we do is we don't vote on policy, but legislative ideas can be born. Select committees are a great platform for your voices, all of your voices. Include other members of the legislature to understand also what is desperately needed. I'll be having a hearing in Fresno first, and in Concord we have a hearing on the 24th at Concord City Hall. I encourage you all to come and share your passion for this community. I'd really appreciate it if you would show and come and support us. I'm here. I have 6 more years in the legislature. When we did SB 1, the transportation funding bill for $5.2 billion a year, they told me it also couldn't be done. Tell me no, and I'll work twice as hard to prove you wrong. I'm here.